Guys, so welcome back. Today's video is going to be an updated routine on how I do my lock extensions. Most people call them faux locks. I'm really excited to come to you with this video because the last time I filmed, well, the first time I filmed a lock extension video was back in 2014, and till this day it is my most viewed video. I think it has almost 1 million views. It definitely was the video that got me recognized. I did the lock extensions again back last year. I did them like a gray silver color, but I hate that video. I don't even know why I uploaded it. It was just horrible. Like, don't watch that video. So this year, I knew that I wanted to do the lock extensions again, but I wanted to figure out a way to, one, make them look more natural, two, veer away from ripping my edges out, and three, finding a better way to seal the ends. Those are the three things that I was concerned about. And till this day, people comment on that video from back in 2014, and they're still asking me, questions on, how can they do something besides burning the ends because they find that the hair sticks together or it sticks to their clothes. People want to know, does it rip your edges out? Is there a way that you can potentially install them without them ripping your edges out or being too tight or just really stiff looking? So I was definitely taking that into account because I felt the same way. I had to kind of like fight through those same issues. But I definitely have figured out a way to get rid of all three of those issues. So I'm really excited to bring you this video. So before we get into the actual tutorial, definitely want to tell you what type of hair I use. So as many of you know from that video, I am the biggest fan of the Marley hair, the brand called Batik, B-A-T-I-K. I love that hair. I find that it's really fluffy. I feel like you get more hair than some of the other brands. And that brand carried the really light blonde hair that I had did for that video back in 2014. So I was going to purchase that hair again, but I remembered that last year when I was looking for braided hairstyles on YouTube, I came across Beauty Can Braid. Her channel is filled with so much knowledge on how to protect your hair by doing braids, twists, lock extensions, crochet, you name it, she can do it. And so one day when I was looking for a braided hairstyle, I came across her faux lock video, and she used this brand called the Curl Refinery. And I bought this hair like a year ago, and it came in this box. And when I was looking to put in my locks again last week, I was going to go to my beauty supply store and get the brand Batik. But then I remembered that I had this hair, so I was like, I might as well try it because I really did like the way it came out on her client. Her client she used was, they did them a lot slimmer and long. But you guys already know I love just the short, thicker locks. So, yeah, so I was just like, what? I could still probably use the hair. So, and after using it, I highly recommend it. It is a little on the pricey side, but I will tell you that Marley hair and this hair, after you wrap it, it looks identical. So if you don't want to spend, which on their website they have each bulk, and I use 4 bulks. Each bulk is $12.99. So I use 4 and for this length. And when I tell you I literally ran out, I had to end up using some Marley hair just to, not to wrap, but just to create the thickness for the faux lock underneath to do the braids. So I would definitely say if you want the length that I have and the amount, which I used, I think when I counted, how much was it? I think it was like 43 or 44 locks in my hair. If you want yours like this, then I would say just get 5 bulks just to be on the safe side. But if not, you can get the $5.99 pack of Marley hair, the Batik brand, and you would use about 6 packs for that. So yeah, let's just get right into the, before we get into the video, I know someone's gonna ask. So this, I just went to my local Michael's and got some colored thread, green, gold, and red. Just, you know, this was my preference, and I just wrapped each around however many times to make it this thick. You can use any colored thread. You can, like, you know, put some in the front. You could put those little gold beads and stuff like that on it. But I pretty much like my faux locks just like this, and maybe just like one little accent. So yeah, let's just get right into the tutorial. So this is what one bulk of the long spring twist unfluffed hair looks like when it first comes in the package. And then I took the rubber bands off of it, and this is what it looks like before I fluff it out. You can see it has like a real springy type of texture to it. And then this is what it looks like after I fluffed it out, and I just used like a Denman brush and just brushed each strand out. That's one bulk out of the 4 that I used for my hair. Alright, so I'm going to show you from start to finish how I do this last faux lock. So, and just a disclaimer, don't mind my serious face throughout this video. It was like 5 in the morning and I was doing this for like 8 hours. I was just exhausted. So I just took a misting bottle and got that from Sally's Beauty Supply store, and I just moisturized my hair with some water. And then I'm taking the Main Choices, doesn't get much butter than this, hair butter, and using that to seal in the water. So now I'm just taking my Mielle Organics Edge Control, and I am just sleeking up my edges. And now I'm taking one full spring twist, and I'm folding that in half, and then I'm going to cut it right down the middle. Alright, so now I take one of those halves, and I'm going to just fold that in half again, and that's basically going to be the length of our faux lock. So remember I said earlier in the video that I ran out of hair, so here you see me adding a piece of Marley hair in just to add some thickness to it. And now we're going to basically attach, you know, this piece onto our hair to start a braid. So you basically take the 2 ends, hold it in the middle, and use your hair as a third, and you wrap it around, and then you just start to braid. Hopefully you guys are visual learners, because yeah, it's kind of hard to explain it. But yeah, so now you just want to basically braid that down, and the trick is don't braid really tight. Braid it loose. The looser you braid it, the thicker your faux lock will be. The tighter you braid it, the slimmer your faux lock will be. So basically, once you get to the end of your hair where you just have a little piece left, I took 2 more pieces of Marley hair and I just threw it around. As you can see, I just threw it around the other hair, and then I took those 2 pieces and anchored the little piece of my hair that I had left together and just made that the 3rd piece. And I just continue to braid all the way down until I get to the end. Alright, so as you get to the end, you don't want it to taper off and get too thin. So you want to take the end and roll it up kind of like a honeycomb. Most naturals will know what I'm talking about. When you basically want your ends to have a little curl at the end, so you roll it up to make like a little cocoon. And now I'm taking a full spring twist and I am pulling it apart. And you got to pull it apart with force, because if you do it lightly, then it will kind of not break apart properly. So this is a key too. So now I'm taking a crochet hook and I'm going to crochet that hair, hook the hair, and you want to crochet it onto or through the braid, so now that it can move freely. And this is just going to ensure that your lock doesn't start to slide down as you wear it, and that's something that used to happen to me, so I thought this was a great tip. And then you just basically wrap around, and
unlike my last video from 2014, you're not gonna wrap tight. The tighter you wrap the more your lock is gonna be stiff, and you don't want it to be stiff. And I realize you don't have to wrap it tight for it to be secure. So I wrapped it, loose, and I didn't have to push it up to kind of ensure its tightness. You don't want it to be tight, trust me. So you just keep wrapping that piece around until you get to almost to the end. So once you're basically at the end and the piece is starting to fray, you want to take the other half of the long spring twist hair. You just want to add that on. So as you can see, I'm just connecting the end on and holding it with my other hand, and then just continuing to wrap. And wrap until you get all the way to the end. So just a tip, when you're braiding the spring twist onto your own hair, don't make it so tight onto the root. I had to learn the hard way that the tighter you make the braid onto the root is the bulkier it's going to be, and the more difficult it's going to be for you to fling the hair and flip it any way you want it to lay. So once you get to the end of the lock, now you want to start wrapping whatever hair you have left back up. This will ensure that your end doesn't taper and become thin. You want the lock to be uniformed all throughout. And then once you wrap back up, you want to take some nail glue now and just secure that end so that it doesn't come apart. This is key, so you don't have to actually burn the end anymore. And then just take the lock and palm roll it between to kind of loosen it up and to just ensure that it is all the same size throughout from root to end. And as you can see, you can move it, fling it, throw it any way you want. And yeah, so these are just my tips on what I learned throughout the years to just get a more natural looking, less tension on your edge type style that still looks just as good and actually looks better if you ask me. So I'm just showing you guys like my parting pattern. At the back I did like boxes, but then the other half at the top I kind of just freestyled it. So I hope this video was informative. Thank you guys for watching.